Okay, so welcome to Ignite, Spark Ignite. This is Spark session number 7, Find and Win the Buyer. My name is Wesley Stonicher. I'm the assistant team leader, head of production over at Keller Williams Realty Acadiana in Lafayette, Louisiana. And we've got Jenna and Lexi, the faithful participants in this recorded version of our Ignite session. So we're gonna begin. Thank you. All right, so Lexi and Jenna, let's do a little report out on your daily 10-4. How is your activity going? Let's say as of since yesterday, you have to do 10 conversations. You have to have 10 contacts added to your database a day. How did you do?
I did 6. I reached out to 6 people through Messenger.
Did they respond?
Yeah, 4 of them did.
Okay. So for our particular count, we would count if we're looking at text messages like that or text-based communication. If you get a conversation going, if they respond, then we can count it. Obviously conversations verbally are, and face-to-face is the best. Video conferencing like this would be second best. Phone only verbal communication would be third best, and then a text back and forth is the fourth best.
Okay.
Okay. So based on that criteria, I would say you have 4 conversations for yesterday.
Right.
Okay, cool. And that would be today too, is like yesterday afternoon to right now.
Right.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right. How many have you added to your command database?
So I did add 10 new contacts in there.
Great. Okay. So you're filling your database using, a family member's info.
Right.
Are you finding that people have been receptive to giving you their addresses or their emails or, whatever you didn't have?
Well, yes, and I've been able to, what I'm trying to do is go and meet them first, but I guess I could do better on asking for the email and the address for sure.
Yeah, I mean, on the phone, I mean, yeah, you might as well, like, hey, look, my coach or my
Mentor.
mentor, whatever you want to call me, right? Just make up whatever makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Tasked me with sending 10 thank you cards a day. And honestly, I'd like to send you a thank you card for taking my call. So where should I mail it?
Okay.
What's your address?
Yeah.
That's a real easy way to do it, right?
Yeah.
Like they're helping you out by letting you send a thank you card.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. And how are you doing on your previewing of your homes? Are you able to get out at all and see any homes in person?
I did. I went and I saw a huge mansion in Brobridge. Paul Ayo was showing it, and so went with him, and it was awesome. It was massive home and different area than I hadn't seen that area yet. So
Good.
that was, yeah.
Yeah, Brobridge would be the metropolis of Brobridge. Yeah, that's just outside of Lafayette. It's kind of a little more country feel than Lafayette has, a little less metropolitan.
Yeah.
But it's still a big community. And a lot of people commute from Brobridge into Lafayette for work and for school,
Okay.
university and things like that. So, but it's an old area, so
Yeah.
you'll have your old, I mean, like you say mansion, I mean, I assume you mean that figuratively, but like there are real mansions there that are, old.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It was like 4,000 square feet. There had been, and it was on an acre. There had been an estate sale. And so there was still furniture, like antiques around with little price tags. So it was very unique and different.
Good. All right.
So I can work on that. I'm going to set up another one here soon.
Yeah, so you have access to the MLS now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can do it on your own.
So Lexi, me,
Yes.
me and me and a fellow friend, she's a realtor, and we're actually going tomorrow and Friday to preview homes if you want to come with us.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You need to give
That's
me your
amazing.
number.
Yeah,
Text, send,
yeah.
send your number to me in a message.
I
That's
will, for
amazing.
sure. For sure. Perfect.
All right, well done. All right, cool. My work is here. My work here is done. I'll see you guys later. I just make connections all day. That's what my job is. Okay, so, and thank you cards. Have you sent many out? How's that number going?
So I've sent out 2 thank you cards. I can definitely beef that up for sure.
Okay, cool, cool. And remember, you can hand deliver them as well.
Okay.
So think about, I suggested this to somebody who was sort of felt like he was at the end of his list or whatever. And I was like, oh no, there's no, you're never going to run out of people. Though you may feel that way at times. So you just have to look for a different source. You have to look for more inspiration. Wherever your money went this week, they get a thank you card. And it could be worded, hey, it's this year, last year has been tough. I'm grateful that you're still in business because I was able to get gas at your place and I was on empty. Chin up. We'll make it through this. If I can help you in real estate, let me know.
Sweet. Okay.
I mean, imagine being a gas station manager, receiving that thank you note from some, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just,
Yeah.
nobody
Yeah.
does that.
Yeah.
And he's going to give that to the owner because it makes him look good because they did a good job for you. And that owner, like, I mean, why wouldn't they call you if they need real estate help? Look how you went out of your way.
Yeah.
Or what if they post it on the internet, right? Look at this thank you card I received today. It's, this is why I do business in Acadiana. Like that stuff happens.
Yeah.
I heard on the radio last night that I think it was a Chick-fil-A in like Tennessee, Illinois or Utah. I think it was in Utah. I think it was a Chick-fil-A in Utah. Somebody did a pay it forward thing, right? I want to buy my chicken and I'm going to pay for his meal. Well, then the next person got their meal paid for and they were like, okay, well, look, I want to pay for that guy's meal. It went for 105 customers. That the train, 105 customers. Can you believe those? I mean, can you imagine those employees who got to witness it and just like, people were just paying it forward all the way down the line. 105.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. And your thank you card, Lexi, could start that chain.
Going to Chick-fil-A.
Leave them a thank you card with your business card in it. Shoot, you could do that. Write 5 of them right now. Thank you so much for being in business during these tough times. I'm a loyal patron of yours. Keep up the good work. If I can help you in real estate, let me know. And you put your book and just hand them out. Just hand them out. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Now we can get off the call. Jenna, how are you doing? What's your
Good. So far, okay. So Logan gave me, okay. At first it was 100 people to talk to a week. Now he's bumped me down to 50. Thank God. So right now I am at 15 people I've spoken to since Monday.
Okay.
I mean, I've called more than that, but I document how many people I talked to, and I've added those 15 to my database.
Good.
So I have 35 more people to talk to by Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So today's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
So that's 5 more today.
Yeah. Because
That's
I
5 more today. And that's 15 tomorrow and 15 Friday.
yeah, I've spoken to 7 today.
Okay. Okay.
So I'll get there. No, I have to do it by Friday.
I know, but you do it in chunks. And look at it this way. I'm gonna have you out of here before 3 o'clock. You're gonna bang out the last 5 for today, and you'll get your 15 for today or whatever. You have 15 Thursday, 15 Friday. Well, that's 7 in the morning and 8 in the, 7 before lunch, 8 after lunch. Well, before lunch is, from 9 to noon is 3 hours. That's 3 an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one person every 20 minutes. You can talk to one person every 20 minutes when you look at it like that.
I would have gotten more done this morning, but I was in meetings all morning. So I only had 2 hours, an hour and a half to make calls. And I talked to 7 people.
Here's the interesting thing. All things expand to the time allowed.
Elaborate.
What?
Elaborate.
Do what?
Elaborate on that.
Elaborate. Okay. All things expand to the time allowed. So if you give yourself an hour, now listen, you can't control whether they answer or not. Okay, that's a given. We cannot control. We control how quickly we dial and who we dial and whether or not we dial. So we can control the time in between attempts. So if I make a call, nobody answers, then I go get a cup of coffee and come back, make another call, somebody answers, then I go to the bathroom, come back, like that, it's going to take me forever. So all things expand to the time allowed. So what that means is that if I allow myself a certain amount of time to accomplish a goal, I will figure it out. The converse is true. If I don't give myself a time limit, the task I'm doing will probably take up all of the time. Okay. So in my family, we did this. We were having trouble. We decided that the kids needed chores, right? And we were having trouble getting them to finish the task. So we changed it. We said, all right, guys, look, all things expand to the time allowed. So we're allowing you 10 minutes. And they're like, I can't finish in 10 minutes. I don't know. Hang on. All we're asking is that you work diligently in your task for 10 minutes. At the end of 10 minutes, you're done, whether you're finished or not. As long as you work diligently. One had to wash the dishes, one had to pick up the playroom, and one had to do laundry, right? Here's the thing. Night number 1, we just about finished in 10 minutes. Almost every night since then, and this was 2 years ago, it takes them way less than 10 minutes to do the task, right? Because they realize there's just a sense of urgency given. So if you commit that you're going to speak to 5 people before you leave work today, before you leave the office, or before you go to bed, you're going to speak to 5 people. You will. And you're limiting the time frame. Tomorrow, if you give yourself 3 hours to call 8 people, it's probably going to take you 3 hours to call 8 people. But if you say, I'm going to speak to all 15 in 1 hour, I'm going to give myself 15 minutes to organize myself, and then an hour, and I'm going to knock it out. I'm going to lunch with all of this done already. Well, there's a whole different energy about that, and it will change the way you make those calls. You're going to get off of the long ones quicker. You're going to dial faster. You're not going to pee until the hour's over. You're not going to, all things expand to the time allowed. Both
Got it.
squeezing and no limit. All right, let's talk about how to get buyers. Successful agents every day grow and run their business. I also realized I didn't check all your other numbers. You're previewing homes tomorrow. So
Yes.
okay. How's your no cards going?
I need to catch up on that from all the calls I made this week.
Okay. Okay.
But I will do them. I have a system, so it will bug me if I don't do it.
Okay. What's your system?
My system is usually whenever I make the calls, I ask for their address, and then after I get off the phone with them, I add them to command and write them a thank you card. But I haven't had time to do the cards this week. So
yeah.
yeah.
Tell me why. Tell me what happened in that system.
This week?
Yeah.
Because whenever I'm done with this, I'm very tired and I want to go home.
Okay. All right. So let me propose this. Now, I mean, that's a great system as long as it works. This week you realize that at some point with some certain parameters, it doesn't work. So let me propose this. When you wash the dishes, okay, you ever wash dishes before?
Yes.
Okay. You put, not in the dishwasher. Let's say the dish, like you don't have a dishwasher. You pick up a cup, you wash the cup, you put it in the sink, you probably pick up another one. And then when that sink gets full, you rinse them all off and then you put them there to dry. And then when you're finished washing them all, then you dry them, right? Is that similar to what you do?
No, I stack them all up on the drying mat. And then once they're dry, I put them up.
And then you put them up. That's what I mean. Okay. My point is you don't pick up a cup, wash the cup, rinse the cup, dry the cup, put the cup away. Pick up a plate, wash the plate, rinse the plate, dry the plate, put the plate away. You don't do that, do you?
No.
So there's an efficiency that comes with chunking our activities, right? If I commit the hour tomorrow to the calls only, right?
And that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been working on is making the phone calls first instead of stopping in between every single one. So that's why I haven't caught up with a thank you card. So usually I make like a dump hour or two and take care of that in my dump.
I love that. I love that.
Well, no, I'm going to make a dump on Friday, like for an hour, and then I'll get to do that.
Okay. Where do you come up with that term? A dump hour?
I'm just gonna take a dump. It's funny.
Yeah.
I got it from Deb, actually.
Okay.
That's
Great.
It's like all the little things you don't get to do during the week. You make like an hour or two, like on a Friday, and it's a dump.
Okay, I dig it. I get it. I think I've called it a catch-up hour, a Heinz hour, a catch-up
Yeah.
hour, or an admin hour or whatever. Okay, a dump. Okay, that's good. But I think you're learning that lesson that if you chunk activities, you can become more efficient at them.
Yes.
Right? You take out 10 thank you notes and you go, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's more efficient.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
You lose time with the start and stop. All right, today we're going to talk about lead generating for buyers specifically. Our roadmap for today is we're going to find the buyer. Where are all these buyers hiding? We're going to cultivate those buyer leads once we connect with them. We're going to qualify the buyer leads to see how soon they are actually going to buy and how serious they are. We're going to sign the buyer agency agreement, or what I have been calling the loyalty agreement. And then we'll close out with recaps and ahas. I'm also going to link over to our command site and show you some resources there. Jenna, you may have a buyer presentation that you guys use, and it's probably similarly based on the command one. So that might be a little repetitious for you, but you'll pick up a good tidbit while we go through it. Any questions so far? Okay. All right, before we can begin to learn how to handle leads that may want to buy real estate, we need to find our buyers. Remember, how you find your buyer will be related to what your business looks like. Do what works well for you and or for your team. An example, a solo agent like Lexi right now, you'll most likely be handling all of your own leads. A great place. Oh,
Sorry, no, I'm actually gonna join Wes, Herbert, I never say it right, Hebert.
Bear.
Yeah, I was way off. Bear, I'm joining his team and we're meeting like tomorrow at 11. So I've kind of been waiting for that right time to, to really speed it up, and so I think that'll help me. I kind of feel like that's the best like route at this point.
Okay, great. As you're amping that up, use um, as a solo agent or as a team member, you're going to use other agents here in the beginning. It's often a good idea to use other agents' open houses as a place to A, promote yourself through social media, and B, actually meet buyers who are looking. I began my business in open houses. Coincidentally, they were actually in Wes Bear's open houses. I got my beginning with Wes Bear.
Nice.
So both of you are on wonderful. I speak highly of both of them.
Cool.
The NAR, the National Association of Realtors, has a profile of home buyers and sellers, and that profile of home buyers and sellers states that 89% of buyers purchase their home through a real estate agent. 41% of buyers found that agent through a referral from friends or family. Pause. What that should tell you, or what you should be gleaning from that, is that no phone call you make, no connection with a human being is wasted. I know we all want every phone call to lead to a deal. This realization that this is telling us is that every phone call you make could lead to a deal someday. So a connection with a human being is never wasted. 75% of buyers interviewed only one real estate agent during their home search. So if you have any thoughts that they're not going to choose you because you're new, or they're not going to choose you because of blank, that's a limiting belief, because 75% of them only met one agent. You just got to be the first agent they meet. 75% of them will choose to work with you. 51% of buyers visited an open house as a way to search for homes. This is in the age of the internet. They still walked into a house. They want to feel it. They want to walk in. They want to understand the spatial, relationship with everything. They want to figure that all out. And if you're the one present and you're the first agent they meet, you have 50% of them you're gonna meet them at an open house, and 75% are gonna choose you. Or they could. All right. We use this particular chart image to show sort of where all these leads and phone calls you're making. There's a process that they will all go through, and it's measurable. This funnel starts off at the top. This is all of the people you've met, right? Prospecting, open houses, your marketing, your Facebook connections, all of them end up in your funnel. If you've met them and collected their information, they end up at the top of your funnel. The top of your funnel is filled with people who are looking for a house right now, are looking for a house in 30 years, know somebody looking for a house in 8 years, know somebody looking for a house in August. It's full of all kind of people. As you begin to identify their needs, they start to trickle down the funnel and get tighter. The end of the funnel is a closing. And that whole process, appointment to active to under contract to closing, once they close on their house, where do we put them? Back at the top of the funnel. We never lose them. We never leave them. But there is a point where we begin to separate them out. Leads and contacts is how they begin to separate. So those at the top who begin to be interested in real estate or start to ask us questions or at least agree to receive information from us, call those leads. So with a lead, we track them and we offer them services, offer them value. This is one way offer-based touch campaign, and we'll go into detail about that. Once they have interacted with us at a higher level and invited a two-way communication, they're talking back to us and showing us our interests, we begin to call them contacts. Contacts is where we're connecting with them and we're offering our services in a more specific way based on what they specifically need. This is an interactive and value-based touch program. When they cross this threshold, we cultivate that lead. This is interactive and action-based touch programs. We nurture and we qualify them. Are they ready to buy? Are they ready to sell? Are they able to sell? Is it a good time for them to sell what they have? And then we move into the sale process. With an appointment, they become an active client. We put them under contract and we close their house. The touch campaigns that we're talking about here are our smart plan in command. We went into detail that previously. We'll go into more detail on that right now. All right, so if you go into your command, you guys can just watch me while I do it. All right, so on your command homepage, on the left-hand side, you have all your icons. If you click the KW, they will open up so you can see them, or you just hover over them and you can see what they are until you learn what the icons are. We're looking at the smart plans. All right, there's a library. There's a library here that has all the various and sundry smart plans that are already written out for you. All you have to do is attach them to your contact in your command database. And these smart plans run and will give you prompts for what you should do. And they're everything. I mean, look, bi-weekly neighborhood nurtures, 8x8 new contact engagement. I think we used to call this the 8 days of pain. We would contact them like every day in different ways for a week. The most commonly used ones are I'm not seeing what I want. Anyway, it's okay. I'll move on. picking any one of these, if you look closely, it says it's 7 steps for 90 days and involves 3 touches. So if you view the steps, it'll walk you through what you should do. All right. So let's say you just met them and you want to hammer them for 90 days. Starts off with a phone call. It actually tells you, call them at that. Do not just leave a voicemail, connect with them. That's your prompt. Then it'll wait 30 days and then it will do a touch task. Interact with them on social media by liking one of their recent posts and commenting commenting with an interrogative, a question. Bonus points if you get them to like and respond to your comment. Then you wait 30 days. Interaction is another touch task. Write a handwritten note and hand deliver it if possible. Try to get in front of them. Sending a thoughtful but brief text message is an alternative option. Try and give them an item of value in the text. A coupon for dog sitting, a link to a happy hour, I guess, or something dealing with real estate if they've shown interest. And then you repeat them. This is just a simple way of staying in front of somebody for a long duration of time without getting in their way or bothering them. And I mean, God, like they're all, I mean, pick any one of these, right? Look at the easy button. This plan triggers a series of calls, texts, and emails that cover just over a month, beginning with heavy communication of Facebook leads and tapering off. So they add them to your smart plan in the next day. Somebody must have wrote this one. Doesn't have the hyperlinks. Have either of you used smart plans yet?
I did right in the beginning with like, I think I had maybe 16 people in there, and I sent them a quick text letting them know who I was. Corey Kate helped me. And then we also did one to blast everybody on Christmas, just wishing them a Merry Christmas.
Okay. What was the benefit of that? What's the benefit of it?
Constant contact, keeping in contact and like cultivating.
Once you did the blast, how long would it have taken you to send each of those emails individually?
Who knows, maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes.
No, I think you'd still be doing it. Oh, you had 16.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah. Now I have 94.
Right. When you have 4,000 contacts, you're going to definitely need a plan.
Yeah.
I love your success story, Lexi, because one day you're going to be able to say, yeah, I started with 16 people in my database.
Oh, by the way, like 4 of them were realtors. I was like, Daniel, what? But whatever, it's the best is their message back was like, I'm a realtor already. Who are you? Like, if they weren't rude, but they definitely were like, come on, man.
Text them back. You ever thought about moving? Do you love your broker?
Right. For sure.
You got to lose.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So one way, if you're I think both of you have done this, but just for those who have not done a smart plan yet, add yourself to a smart plan so you can see what it looks like from the consumer's point of view. That's a good tip. All right. Let's qualify buyer leads. A qualified buyer lead, a person who should get most of your time and energy, is a ready, willing, and able buyer. That means if you show them the right house, they will buy it today. They will start the process. That's ready, willing, and able. We call that an A buyer. This is somebody who is, they're gonna be in a new house in a month or so, less than 30 days, maybe 45 days. They're ready to go. A B buyer is 2 of those 3 components. They're maybe ready and willing, but not able. They need another 3 months in their current job before they can get their loan. Um, they're stuck in a lease that's in 6 months. There's some component that doesn't make them, they're not going to move in the next 30 to 45 days. A C buyer is somebody that you should put in your system, but right now they're not ready. So they're not going to get a ton of your time. Which of these are you showing houses to?
A.
A. And honestly, only A. A B buyer, I'm sure some agents have shown houses to B buyers, more than likely because they didn't realize they were B buyers because they didn't ask enough questions in the beginning. Other agents have chosen to show homes to B buyers to cement the relationship, maybe, and to make sure, hey, when you're ready, I'm your guy, right? Or I'm your girl, or whatever. But honestly, if they're not able, showing them homes, it's a risk. You're risking wasting your time. Showing a home to a C buyer who maybe is like, just, they're not ready, that's a waste of time. Some C buyers or will only be ready when the perfect specific property comes up. Maybe they're looking for, around here, they're looking for a horse farm, or they're looking for, a trailer park or a whatever. They could have a very specific need. And the reason they're not ready yet is because the property doesn't exist yet. So that placing that buyer between B and C, you could choose because you're always waiting for that property to show up. And when it shows up, this buyer is likely to buy it. Well, then you choose where to put them and how you want to treat them. There's some tools in your Ignite toolkit that are rather useful. And some people take these tools and they edit them for themselves. I got really good at a buyer consultation on the phone by starting off with a sheet that looks something like this. It reminded me I needed their name, their number, their email. If somebody's calling me on a sign call, or it's an internet lead or a phone duty lead, if I didn't get that, my goal in a phone duty lead was to get their name, number, and email. If that's all I got, that I was happy because I could call them back. I could entice them. I could give them information. The other thing that really helped was I wrote down all the questions that I thought were good. So let's take a look at the buyer lead sheet.
So about able, ready, and willing. I don't show them homes until they're pre-approved because I know a lot of listing agents like to have your buyers pre-approved before you show them houses.
So there's a couple of reasons that I'm not recommending showing a house to somebody who's not pre-approved. I was just saying you may have seen other realtors show homes. You may hear that other realtors have showed homes to buyers who were not quite ready. And that was a choice they made in their business.
Yeah.
Maybe they had the time, maybe they had the energy. I don't know. It's not the recommendation for a couple of reasons. Getting someone pre-approved lets you know exactly their ability. You can make your choices. But I mean, if it looks like they're never, ever going to ever be able to buy a house for whatever reason, well, now you know. And it's probably not the buyer for you. You probably do not want to spend any time showing them any houses. They're looky-loos. They're not ever going to buy. And you're not in the business of opening doors. You're in the business of selling houses. So your standard of getting them pre-approved is a good standard. I'm just saying some agents, depending on the situation or the relationship with the buyer, you may hear them showing houses to non-pre-approved buyers. Not a recommendation. There may be a reason.
Hey, that's not keto.
What?
Orange juice?
Lemon.
Oh, gotcha. Sorry, ADD kicking in, my
That's
bad.
okay. I had spinach and protein for lunch. I'm on a good track today.
Nice.
Okay, so the buyer lead sheet. Here's the sample of the buyer lead sheet. Name, email, street address if you can get it. Children's names, home phone number, mobile phone number. What is the best way to get in touch with you? What times are best? All right. Somebody calls you on phone duty. You're not going to get all this information. Okay, y'all? It's here for you to get it when you can. And it helps you remember to ask about it. You know, hello, it's a great day at Keller Williams. This is Wesley. How can I help? Yeah, I was looking for, I want to know how much that yellow house is over there, by Timo Malls, the yellow house. Yeah, I was looking for how much that is. Okay, well, let me get your name. What's your name, sir? It's T-Boy Boudreaux. Okay, and your email? Man, I don't do that email. Okay, and your street address? Man, I don't want to live where I live no more. I'm looking for a new house. That's why I want to know about that yellow house. Okay, and your children's name, sir? Like, it ain't gonna go like that, right? That's not how you do it. What this is here for is to guide you so that you can have the conversation. When you have a better relationship with them, remember, you want to ask their children's name. You want to get their birth, you want to get those details. Does that make sense?
Right now.
Hey,
All right.
Walter.
Hey, Walter.
Hey, y'all.
Hi, Walter.
Hi.
Nice of you to join us. We're going over the buyer lead sheet.
Oh, I love the buyer lead sheet. It's one of my favorite forms.
Tell me, Walter, while I got you on the phone, we're going to get there, and I don't know how long you're going to stay with us, but give me your reasoning for signing a buyer loyalty agreement or a buyer agency agreement.
It's the same as why would you go on a listing appointment and not sign an exclusive right to sell listing agreement? It binds a relationship. And buyers don't buy every day, just like sellers don't sell every day. And they expect communication from their realtor to explain to them the value of that. I am going to spend my time and effort to help you guys find the right house. Don't you think it's fair that I get paid? And this guarantees that I get paid for my time. Versus a buyer changes their mind and you get paid nothing. I mean, there's a lot of value in that. So I know that the best buyer's agents use them. And I think anybody that's wanting to be the best should follow their lead.
Success leaves a trail.
Oh, you know it.
Thank you. Thank you for that addition. I pulled up the sample buyer lead sheet because I found that when I started, I wrote a lot of these questions on a piece of paper. And so here they are in this pretty format, but these questions are the excellent questions that you would want to ask a buyer. Now some of these you might be able to get over the phone. As much as you can, you want to get these answered kind of as quickly and as concisely as possible. So has an agent taken you out and shown you properties yet? Is there, because you have to ask if there's an agent, if they are represented by another agent. That's our ethical duty to ask that question. Anybody else buying the home with you? Who's helping you make this purchase? Who's helping you out with this home buying process? Like I like to ask those more generic questions because sometimes you'll get, oh, well, my daddy's going to help me. He's gonna check and make sure the house is nice, and he's gonna help me, with the down payment. He's going to co-sign, whatever. I want to know if there are realtors helping them, but I also want to know if daddy's coming, because there is nothing worse than showing a young couple 4 houses and they fall in love with the 5th one. Then they bring daddy, and daddy shows up and says, no, the ground molding is not caulked. So no, this ain't the house. What's that? Is that, that's the worst, right? Because daddy's trying to protect his little girl, but daddy wasn't in the other 4 terrible homes that we've already seen. So if daddy's helping us, I want daddy for the whole process. I want him with us the whole time. Okay? So you would get that answer with a question like, well, who's helping you out with this process? Who's going to help you, figure this out? Because you'll get all those names. How long have you been looking for a home? That's an excellent question. Why is that an excellent question?
Timeline?
Sure, but what could the timeline reveal? What if they say 3 years?
Well, I'm going to nurture them.
If they say we've been looking for a house for 3 years.
Looking for a house for 3 years.
Right. How long?
Maybe it's time to switch realtors.
or they're looky-loos. They're B buyers. They're never going to be able to find a house. There was the cutest little couple when I was running open houses at a high level back in 2011, 2012. I was running open houses every weekend, like all summer long. I was killing it. And there was this little couple, Sam and Diane, and they would come. I would see them at open houses. I mean, it was months. And to the point where I started talking to other agents, and we would talk about what route Sam and Diane took that weekend. Because all of us pre-approved them. All of us tried to land them, Sam, they're just adorable. They rented a house. They didn't have an income to buy a $300,000 house. They were just really just kind of dreaming, And, God bless them. I'm sure one day they bought their house, but they were looking for 3 years. Okay. So I'm curious, why are you moving? That's an excellent question. Are you renting right now, or do you own a home? If they're renting, well, do you know when your lease is up? Because that's important for you to know before you make an offer on a house. Have you signed a listing agreement with a real estate agent to sell your house if they're owning it? Well, do you have to sell your house, or are you going to own 2 houses? That's often a really good question. Okay, well, if you have to sell your house, have you signed a listing agreement with an agent? Nope. When would be a good time for us to get together so I can give you a free market analysis on your home? So I can show you the best way to get your home sold. So I can show you what I can do to get your home sold. So I can show you how I can net you the most money and get your home sold, whatever script you want to use. But right there, you ask for the appointment. You see that? You're not going to get the appointment unless you ask for it. You remember my hamburger example, right? Remember that? Jenna, you've heard it? Yeah, so it's, you walk into the place, you see that, that girl who looks a little interesting, and you sidle up to her and you start a conversation, you'll talk about food. You say, hey, you do you like hamburgers? Like, oh yeah, me too. Yeah. What's the best hamburger place in Lafayette? Oh yeah, ground patty. Oh man, when they light the fire in the middle, isn't that so romantic? It is. Yeah, I know. Yeah. What you doing this weekend? Nothing? Oh, you don't have any plans Friday? Yeah, me neither. Okay. All right. Hey, great talking to you. Hope you find something to do Friday. Okay, bye. Unless you say, do you want to go to ground patty with me? You're not gonna get a yes or a no, right?
Great.
You gotta ask for the appointment. When's a good time for us to get together and I can show you what your house might sell for? All right. Are you going to, this is my favorite. I picked up this question years ago and always use it. Are you going to be paying cash or will you be getting a mortgage for the purchase of your home? I love asking this question, especially on phone duty. Because you get T-Boy who calling you looking for that yellow house. He said, man, I want to know about that yellow house. And you ask T-Boy, you say, well, all right, listen, Mr. T-Boy, are you gonna be paying cash for this house or are you gonna seek to get a loan? It's like, oh no, no, yeah, this man think we're gonna pay cash for that yellow house. Oh, you funny, but no, we're gonna need to get a loan. And then now but you also haven't insulted him. You see, the term pre-approval to a client who doesn't understand the process, it might be they might take offense to that term because it feels like they're not good enough, you know? Like Jenna has a rule where she doesn't show a home to anyone who's not pre-approved. I find it doubtful, Jenna, that you say that to them. Well, until you get pre-approved, I am not showing you anything.
No, that's not how it's said.
I know that's not how you say it. But this would be this is the way that I've always said it. Hey, you're going to seek to get a loan or are you paying cash? They said, well, we're going to need to get a loan. Okay. And then you move straight on down. Okay, well, have you already spoken to a mortgage lender? No. I don't like, have you already been pre-approved by a lender? I just don't like it. I just find I've had instances where it has turned off buyers who are just starting out. They don't understand what pre-approved means. They just don't know. So
what is your budget?
How do they know that, right? Because that's question number 8. What price are you comfortable with? It's the same question. What is your budget? I mean, that's,
So that kind of tells me, like, whenever I ask what is your budget and they're like, well, I don't know, that kind of tells me right there whether they're pre-approved or not.
Oh, sure. But you still have to ask that question.
Right.
Because maybe they haven't decided what their budget is. You keep digging.
Yeah.
Because they may be pre-approved for $200,000, but they're not comfortable with the monthly note that a $200,000 house is. So their budget, they're comfortable with the note for $160,000 house.
That's exactly what is going on with my buyer right now. She got pre-approved for more, but she will not use the whole pre-approval because of the monthly note.
So that's a fact. I mean, just because I have $20 doesn't mean I need to spend all of it on lunch. I mean, just because she can buy a $200,000. Now, the challenge is if she wants a $200,000 house for $150,000. Are you finding that with her?
Say that again?
She's pre-approved for a $200,000 house, but she only wants to spend $150,000. Whatever. Is she expecting to get a $200,000 house for $150,000?
No.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's her choice.
Right.
She's buying below her means. That's probably a good financial decision.
Yes.
But
I need some more inventory because there's nothing.
I know. I know. Now is the time to sell houses. Oh my.
Yes.
Jen and I are looking at our rent houses and we're like, maybe we should just cash out now. But we don't need to. All right. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 meaning you must buy a home as quickly as possible, and 1 meaning you're not sure you'll really buy anything, how would you rate yourself? I love the scale of 1 to 10 because it's quantitative, quantitative. They have to put a quantity that to qualify what they're saying. On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you? And they actually have to go 9, 8, 3. All of these things help you figure it out. I'd love to help you buy a home. In order to help you find the perfect home, all we need to do is set an appointment with all the decision makers so I can help you get what you want in the time you want it. What is a better time for us to meet? Today at 5 p.m. or tomorrow at 3:30? 2 choices, and you ask for the appointment. All right.
Where can we find that lead sheet at?
Okay, so that buyer lead sheet is in the Ignite materials.
Okay.
So it's the toolkit, the Ignite toolkit. You can find it on gulfsouthignite.com, or you can go in through KW through Command and Connect, and you can get it that way.
Okay. Thanks.
Either way. All right, does anybody want to use that lead sheet and do a role play?
Sure.
I kind of did one just now, but does anybody want to be the agent and practice?
Lexi.
I could take a shot at it. It's
All
gonna be
right.
messy.
All right. So if you're on phone duty, Lexi, here, the script is, it's a great day at Keller Williams. This is Lexi. How can I help you?
Okay.
If you call Austin, that's how they're going to answer the phone. Okay, so let's pretend you're on phone duty and you don't know me. Okay? All right, so ring, ring.
Okay. Hello, this is Lexi with Keller Williams. It's a great day at Keller Williams. This is Lexi. Can I help you?
Yeah, Lexi. This is Mike. I'm interested. How much is that house on the corner of Breeze Street over there in Opelousas?
Mike, no problem. Just real quick, what's your last name, Mike?
Yeah, this is Mike Boudreau.
Mike Brujo. Awesome, Mike. Nice to meet you. Thanks for calling. So the house you're referring to is what's the address again? Do you have the exact number? There's a couple for sale over there.
Oh man, I don't know. I know it's on the corner of Breeze and hey, what's that street we was on just now? Breeze, no, the one with that house, the yellow house you like. Yeah, Breeze and Colonial.
Breeze and Colonial. Okay,
Yeah.
great. This is what I can do, Wes, Mike. This is what I can do for you. Let me grab your email real quick and I will check that out and send you any information I have about it.
Okay. My email is Mike, Mike, don't email me at gmail.com.
That's a great email, Mike. And hey, just real quick, where did you say you were calling from?
Opelousas.
Opelousas. Awesome. And so I would just keep going down and start asking, right?
Yep.
And kind of build rapport in there.
Sure.
Okay. So real quick, Mike, has another agent taken you out to show you any properties yet?
No, we never seen no properties yet. We just want to know how much that one is.
Okay, perfect. And then is there anybody else buying the home with you or is it just you, Mike?
It's me and my old lady.
Awesome. So no kids, no pets?
Oh, we got kids, but they out the house now. We ain't letting them back in.
I hear you, man. How long you guys been looking for a home for?
Oh, man, that last one, he moved out. He graduated from Opelousas High School. He moved out, I guess last summer, and we about ready to let the old house go and get a new one.
So are you guys downsizing, or I'm kind of curious why you're moving?
Yeah, that's why I like that little house on Breeze. It's a little cottage. Looks like me and the old lady could be real comfortable there.
Yeah, it is adorable. Can you go down on the sheet?
Sure.
Awesome, Mike. So you guys are renting now or renting to own? Do you own? I'm
No,
sorry.
no, girl. No, I sound like I'm renting.
No, you
I
definitely
own that
don't.
house. That's my house.
Sweet, sweet. Sounds like it's paid in full.
Oh, I didn't say that.
Okay, all right. You sell your home. So do you need to sell your, oh man, you bowed down. Um, do you need to sell your current home before you guys buy that yellow house?
Yeah, we're gonna need to let the other one go, and we're gonna get the funds, the monies that are extra after we pay that off, and we're gonna put that in the new house.
Oh, great idea. Now, have you guys signed a listing agreement with the real estate agent to sell your home?
What's that?
Basically, to get your home that you're in right now, get it on the market, get you going kind of in the process.
Oh no, we didn't put it for sale yet. We don't even know if we want to buy that little house. How much is it again?
So yeah, so that house right now, it just kind of depends on if you guys are paying, would you be paying cash, or would you be putting that into like getting a loan or a mortgage?
We're gonna get a loan. God, I don't the big house we selling. I mean, I don't think we're gonna be able to get enough to pay off the other house. Probably just a good down payment though.
Okay, Mike. So what's your budget here?
I mean, I don't know how much it is.
So what are you comfortable with?
No, I don't know. Right now, we pay uh we pay 800 a month.
Right on. Okay. So have you guys, well, I guess you don't ask, have you been pre-approved, huh?
Probably not at this point.
Okay.
You probably want to offer me a lender though.
Okay.
It doesn't look like I'm very far in the process.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. We can pause right here. Now, obviously, I'm giving you a little bit of a hard time just for the fun of it. You did great considering you never even seen this page before, right?
Right.
Lexi, you do have. I think you're taking from your experiences in your previous profession. I mean, you're drawing straight from it. I mean, I can hear it. Like all you need to do is know what questions you need to ask. I mean, you're great. You are
Thank
great
you.
on the phone. And I was giving you a hard time. And honestly, I was using a local accent.
That was awesome.
And I would never call my spouse the old lady. And
Daniel calls me that, and it's like, I get it. It's a Southern thing.
it's a Southern thing. I will never use it. Never have, never will. Nope. My daddy didn't call my mama that. And nope. And you will hear it. So I was really just kind of having fun with you because I know you may not have been used to it.
Yeah.
Okay, so excellent job. Any questions on this?
So you said, I kind of, kept putting off like, okay, perfect. And then go to the next question, when you're like, how much is it? How much is it? The main thing that my goal was to, at the end, find you a lender or connect you with a lender.
Your goal is to build rapport. Your goal is to get their contact information so you can recontact them. and get as much as you can. That's your goal in the call.
Okay.
He's calling for, and you're going to get some hostile calls every once in a while. They just want to know. They just want to know how much it is.
Right. Right.
Now, so as tactfully as possible, you want to hold off on giving them that until you get as much as you can.
Right. Okay. Right.
How much is that little yellow house? It's 100,000. Thank you. Click. That's going to happen if that's the route you allow it to go.
Gotcha.
But Mike was talkative. He was kind of silly. He had,
Is that
So-
a Cajun accent?
Yeah, probably not a very good one, but yeah, that's a Cajun.
That's a Cajun coon-ass accent.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how my daddy talked.
Oh, the girl said that's how my daddy talked. Oh, that's how he talked.
He was from Iraq.
No, he's from Iraq. He can't even understand him half the time. You try to write it down and it ain't got enough letters in his words. I don't know how
No,
he talk like that.
she did great. Like, she did better than I would have done, because right off the bat she was like, yes, Mike, and what's your last name and what's your email? Like, I like how she put it off, but after the second time you asked, I think I would have had MLS pulled up right there and had the number for him.
Yeah,
But like,
Yeah.
oh my God, that
She
was
pushed-
like, that was amazing.
yeah, she pushed right through it.
Yeah, I was like, I gotta focus. I need to see this sheet.
Yeah, Mike, can you roll the screen up a little bit?
I was so focused that I was like, I have to whisper, because I didn't want to like lose the focus of being on the call.
That was fun. I'm gonna snip that one and post it somewhere else later. That was fun. Okay, so let's look at sorry. There we go. All right. So let's look at signing the agreement. Let's say we get through that lead sheet and you get all the way down to the point where you want to meet Mike, right? It's time to get together. Let's say you've made the appointment. When you get the appointment, your main focus is these 3 points in that discussion, right? You want to make sure you ask for the business. You want to cement that you are going to be Mike and his old lady's agent, okay? You want to ask for the appointment and assess the oh, I'm sorry. We already did that in the buyer lead sheet. All right. Finding the motivator is the first step to turning a warm lead into a closed client. By completing the buyer lead sheet and rating your buyers A, B, or C, you should be able to determine when you can ask for their business. Let's say Mike, he didn't have another agent. He hadn't listed his house. He hadn't spoken to a lender. We don't know if he's A or B yet. We don't know if he can buy it. We don't know if that house is sellable. We don't know a ton, but I know enough that I want to meet with Mike and I want to continue this conversation. So I would absolutely ask for the appointment. Will tomorrow at 3:00 or Friday at 1 be better? So you're giving them the 2 choices. And then you want to assess the lead's financing needs with the questions we've already covered. Have you spoken with a lender or pre-qualified to purchase online? Are you paying cash for this or a mortgage? Hey, Ty. No, you're good. Emphasize to participants let me point this out. I'm sorry, I'm reading a note to myself. Hey, Jenna, can you turn me down a little bit? It seems like I'm echoing in the background. Thank you. I mean, I want you to be able to hear it, but it seems like my voice is echoing to the back of your wall. Fair housing is something that we all are going to pay attention to because we're good human beings and we treat everybody equally. Okay. If you break a fair housing rule or if you go against someone's fair housing rights, my guess, or my gut tells me, it's going to be accidentally. It's going to be thoughtlessly. It's going to be not on purpose, because you would never do something like that on purpose. So when you're asking about financing, you don't want to ask any questions that could be construed as a question based on their race, creed, color, sex, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's why I ask the same question to everybody. I say, are you going to pay cash for this, or are you going to seek to get a loan? That's me making no assumptions, right? If I can tell that Mike is a Cajun and he sounded like he ain't got no money, I'm asking him the same question as I ask a well-spoken person, somebody who sounds like a certain race or color, or I ask that question to everybody. And that's why that question is a great one, in my opinion. It's because you're making no assumptions, and it can never be said that you made an assumption, right? So if I ask that question to someone who sounds a certain race, and I don't ask it to someone who sounds a different race, I'm accidentally approaching those, or absent-mindedly, I could be approaching an ethical violation based on fair housing. So I just wanted to bring that up. If you ask one, if they're pre-approved or pre-qualified, you have to ask all the others. You have to make it a system that you ask the same question to everybody. All right. Once you get your appointment, just as Walter hopped on and spoke to us about, once you make the appointment, we're focused on signing the buyer loyalty agreement, or the buyer agency agreement, or the buyer agreement for short. I like to call it a loyalty agreement. The importance of the buyer representation agreement, or the buyer loyalty agreement, is just like Walter said, you wouldn't list a house without a listing agreement. So I don't want to spend a ton of time showing you houses without a loyalty agreement, without a buyer agency agreement. The NAR's 2019 profile of home buyers and sellers states that 20% of all buyers pre-qualified for a mortgage online, and only 11% found their mortgage lender online. This means that you can be a great resource by suggesting a few great local lenders. Local lenders know the local area. It's part of the reason why you want a local realtor. Now, you want a local realtor for obvious reasons, because they're in the area. But a local lender, somebody that I can drive to, show up at the office and speak to them, there's so much value in that, especially when we run into problems. Distant lenders can do a good job, and many of them do a good job. But many clients want to drive up to somebody. If driving up to somebody is less important, or not that big a deal, Keller Mortgage is an option for those clients who work with Keller Williams agents on the buy side or the sell side. And it is a 0+ loan program, so there's no fees. So oftentimes the closing costs are much, much, much less. And all of it can be done essentially through our KW app on their phone. All right, what questions do you have for me?
Is the Keller Mortgage, is that always less typically? A little bit?
Well, it's so the Keller Mortgage is a mortgage company. Now this is very simplified. I'm no mortgage lender, so this is my experience. Disclaimer. Lenders get paid typically one of two ways. When they collect them, they either hold the mortgage for 30 years and collect all that interest. That's going to be like a Wells Fargo. Some local banks will hold it for 30 years and just collect the interest. Most mortgage companies and loan originating officers are looking to pre-qualify you, get your loan, and then they want to sell your loan to the secondary mortgage, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, that kind of secondary mortgage. They want to sell it for a kind of a lump sum. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac will hold it for the 30 years, right? So I might make, in a simple sense, if I hold it for 30 years, I'm going to make $30,000. Well, I'm a mortgage lender. I don't want to wait 30 years to collect my 30,000. I'd rather get 5,000 today. So I'm going to sell that loan. I'm going to get my 5,000 and I'll move on. Those numbers are totally made up. Okay. But do you get that idea?
Yeah.
All right. An additional way a loan company can make money is with an origination fee. This is the money it costs for them to work for you. So it's to collect everything, to find the best deal, to, whatever. That is usually wrapped up into the closing costs. Maybe it's $500, maybe it's $1,000, who knows? Keller Mortgage was built to give an option to KW agents for those cases where closing costs are going to make or break a deal. So Keller Mortgage has very low to no closing costs on the mortgage side. I think it's 0. So your closing costs are much lower. So if it's a tight deal and closing costs are an issue, you go through Keller Mortgage, they're not an issue anymore. The buyer doesn't need as much cash up front to close on the house.
Okay.
Keller Mortgage will make their money when they sell that loan later. But they're completely dedicated to making sure they can do everything they can to get the deal to close on behalf of Keller Williams. That's why they really work. You have to be connected to Keller Williams either as the buyer, or if I have a listing and the buyer comes, I can offer Keller Mortgage to that other agent's buyer. Does that make sense? You have to be connected. A Keller Williams agent has to be connected to the purchase for Keller Mortgage to come into play.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's definitely worth recommending it as an option. I would recommend your favorite local lender or two local lenders, and make Keller Mortgage the third option and let your buyer choose.
Okay.
All right. What are your ahas from today?
I like the idea of going and just giving people that I'm meeting out my card and, writing that little note with the business card in it.
Yeah. Do you feel more confident to take a buyer lead call now?
Yeah, definitely.
So you're making a lot of lead generation calls, Lexi, with complete strangers, essentially. If one of them says, I'm looking to buy a house, now you don't have to freak out.
Exactly.
Okay, I'll call you right back. Now you can work it a little bit,
Right. I know like the next step. So I was like, okay, cool.
Awesome. A couple little more statistics. The NAR states and shows us that 90% of buyers would use their agent again or recommend their agent to other people if they could only remember their name. It's our job to make sure that our buyers and sellers don't become orphan clients. If we represent them, we want to make sure they remember us forever, because they are likely to use us and recommend us. Here's the thing. If we don't ask for referral from them, they may not think to think of us. But when we ask for those referrals, who do you know looking to move soon? Hey, who do you know looking to buy or sell? Who at work right now, who's the next person in your office who's going to move? That's a fun question. But you got to ask them that along the way. How important do you think the cyclical nature of lead generation model is when you take this important statistic into consideration? If you're following the DT-DO cyclical model, you are connecting and contacting everybody in your database at least twice a year. They'll never forget you. Forever. So when you close a transaction with a client, what should you do with them?
Put them on a smart plan.
Put them on a smart plan. Put them on the Christmas card list. Invite them to a client appreciation event. All those things. All right, reminder, this is the activity that leads to your success. This is the measurable activity that leads to your success. The daily 10-4, 10 previews a week. Jenna, thank you for inviting Lexi. I think that was really awesome. I think we both appreciate that. 10 handwritten notes. All of us can improve this, myself included. 10 conversations a day and 10 contacts added to your database. Don't forget to be practicing your scripts. Your Ignite script book is available to you. What questions do you have for me? Okay, y'all. Call me if you need me. We'll go ahead and end this session here.
Okay, bye guys.
Hey, see you tomorrow. Bye.
Yeah.
Mañana.